I gained 10 kilograms in around 2 months, 25 pounds in a month, which is crazy. And all because I was doing the same mistake over and over again. I just was not able to see why I was messing up. I was not able to like snap out of it. See, I had this big problem with junk food, which I think has gotten a lot better now. But I used to order takeouts on average once, twice a day at least. And I would still eat my regular food, which obviously is going to cause a lot of weight gain. And now, in around 2 months, I was at 84 in September. Then I went down to like 80 to 82. There's people outside. I'm getting a bit anxious. 80 to 82 in September. Sorry, in October, I was around 80, 82. And now in December, January, I was up at 92 kilograms. And now I'm back on my way down. And I was missing a big element, which was compassion to myself. I know this sounds a bit soft and a bit like weak, but usually that's what happens. I'm going to take advantage of my university campus whiteboard and write a few things because it feels cool, right? So after a habit, oh no, it's upside down, you can't see it. Let's scratch that. After a habit, you would start, after like I would order food and consume junk food and all these kinds of sweets and burgers or whatever, I would start to feel bad. I would start to like, not like feel bad for myself, but I would start to feel angry at myself. Started to feel like, oh, I messed up. I would just fall into this mental headspace of hate, of guilt, of shame. And it never really did anything except for create a cycle for more bad habits. When you feel guilty and shameful, what you need in that moment is a sense of comfort. And because I was resorting to food, food was that escape for me. Maybe food and also a lot of distraction from your phone or watching a TV show or things like that. So I was just indulging in food as a sense of comfort, but then guilt and shame, anxiety, same loop over and over again. And until you start to be a bit nicer to yourself and start to understand why you're doing what you're doing, becoming more aware, then you're not really going to make much progress. Because the solution to guilt and shame is more comfort, but that comfort is through your food or your bad addiction, which is going to create more guilt and shame. Instead, try and be nicer to yourself. I'm trying to be nicer to myself. I try to talk to myself in a better way. I try to talk to myself in a positive way. If I tell myself that whatever. Yes, I didn't do good, but now why? Why did I do that? What was I feeling in that moment? Was it anxiety? Was it stress, fear, boredom? And when I try and understand what I was feeling in that moment, I can try and anticipate the next time it's going to happen. And I just focus on being more aware and just being more intentional with the things that I do. Now, am I completely like cured from this? I would say no, but I'm very close. See, I know like last week I only ordered food about 4 times, and the week before that, like 7 times maybe or 6 times. It is still excessive. However, I see it as progress compared to like ordering a dozen times a week, 14, 15 times a week. It has gotten better. I'm not speaking from a perfect person perspective or from the perspective of someone who has completely gotten rid of whatever addiction they were going through. But I just noticed that the nicer I am to myself, Not in the sense of giving myself excuses to commit these bad habits, but in terms of just telling myself that I messed up. Let me take a step back and analyze what went wrong instead of just bashing myself and beating myself up. I thought it was going to be more dramatic hitting the table, but you guys can't even see the table. Anyways, I noticed that the more I beat myself up, the more I talk down on myself, the more prone I am to falling back for these bad habits. So I started to take a different approach of talking to myself in a nicer way, telling myself that messing up is part of life, not as a crutch or an excuse, but because it's the reality, right? I can't expect to order 20 meals a week and the next week and forever it's zero. I just have to be nicer and more understanding of myself and more understanding of the fact that progress does not look like not doing it ever again, but it looks like doing the habit less and less. If you go to the gym once a week, the next week you go twice, and then four times, this is progress. Maybe you want to go 6 times a week, but you have to start somewhere. So, takeaway of the video: I only started seeing progress when I became more compassionate towards myself, when I started being more understanding, and then more self aware. If you relate to what I said, consider subscribing. It helps me out quite a lot. And honestly, you might be needing some kind of help, and this video helped you. And I don't know what I'm saying anymore, so I'm going to end the video. It's been me. Take care. Peace.